Welcome back to the 50 State Cold Case Spotlight. Today we are in Texas for day one, and I will be spotlighting the case of Mildred May. Mildred was last seen with coworkers when she left the Matador Club on Camp Bowie on Friday, February 3rd, 1967, around 10:30 p.m. Before leaving, she told one of her coworkers that she was hoping her car would start as she was having trouble with her fuel pump. A 24-year-old station attendant named Tony was working at a Tesco station on 1527 University, said a woman matching Mildred's description had stopped into the station Friday and was complaining about gasoline trouble. Investigators believe that on the way home, Mildred's vehicle sputtered to a stop due to the fuel pump, and that's when she would get out of her car in an attempt to walk to get help or use a phone. Her husband was in Dallas for dinner that night, and it isn't noted what time he returned home, but we do know that in the morning, when his wife wasn't home, John became concerned and reported her missing at 8 a.m. on the 4th. John waited by the phone for updates from police and waited home to see if Mildred would come home. While he was waiting, there were 2 phone calls that came in, and they were complete silence except for heavy breathing, and then they would just hang up before calling back one more time, and again, heavy breathing, and then hang up. Mildred's 1959 Pontiac sedan was found on the east shoulder of the 4500 West Freeway near the Clover Lane exit by officers, but Mildred wasn't with her car. 3 hours after Mildred's car was discovered, 2 young kids on a motorbike on the northeast slope of Levy, near where Carver Avenue passes under the North Freeway, would find Mildred's nude body. Mildred's body was covered in bruises and scratches. The boys went directly to the local grocery store and reported it to the police. The deputy county medical examiner arrived at the scene and determined that there was a thin mark around Mildred's throat, indicating that she had been strangled with some type of rope or cord. Mildred had lots of scratches on her back, which indicated that she had been rolled partway down the slope before being left on the gravel. Investigators were never able to locate Mildred's clothing. She was last seen wearing gold stretch pants with gold shoes and a white blouse with a brown overcoat with mink trim, and was carrying a gold purse. Her body was located just under 4 miles from her car. Mildred's purse was found around the billboard, but it looked like her credit cards were missing. There were photos from her purse that looked like they had been scattered by the wind. Unseen, the county medical examiner believed that 2 bones were broken in Mildred's throat and that she had suffered heavy hemorrhaging. After completing the autopsy at the All Saints Hospital, the medical examiner determined that his initial findings were correct and that Mildred's injuries were consistent with criminal assault. The medical examiner said that when Mildred was found, they believed that she had been deceased for over 10 hours, which would have placed her time of death around 4 a.m. on Saturday. It was also determined that Mildred had suffered sexual assault before her death. Investigators believe, based on the scene, that Mildred was dragged from a car, most likely by her feet, down the slope. However, because of the tall grass in the field next to the roadway, it was hard to tell where the vehicle would have entered. Investigators noted at the time, traffic would have been really heavy on the roadway because of the Fort Worth stock show that was in progress that night. February 12, 1967, the Fort Worth Star-Telegram reported investigators were on the search for a suspect after a 31-year-old man said he saw what may have been Mildred fighting for her life on the Trinity River levee around 2 a.m. This witness told investigators that he saw 2 people fighting on the levee of the North Freeway where Mildred's body was found. The witness told investigators that he saw a dark-colored 1965 Ford model parked beneath the billboards on the levee a few feet from where Mildred's body was found just a few hours later. This witness said that the man was about the same height as Mildred, and Mildred was 5'7". The witness said this man looked like a white male that didn't have a shirt on. Investigators kept the witness's name private at the time, but said he is a reliable person and a friend to the sheriff investigator Cody Rogers. Investigators said at the time that the witness account did line up with the facts that they know about the investigation at this time, and it's the only lead that they had at that point regarding a particular car or person. Investigators told the Fort Worth Star-Telegram a year later, on February 1968, that they had questioned hundreds of people in the investigation and chased down hundreds of tips in an attempt to find the killer, and they were now offering a reward in the amount of $2,740 that would be paid out by the state bank once they received a tip leading to the killer. I do not have any more updates on the investigation after that. Mildred's case is still featured on the Fort Worth Police Department cold case page. There is no mention of a reward at this time. It seems like investigators from the very beginning dove in quickly and collected a lot of evidence, and they interviewed a lot of people. I don't believe this case can't be solved. The answer may be there. It just might need new eyes to see them. Please keep sharing Mildred's face and her case in hopes that we can bring her justice. Thank you so much for taking the time to get to know Mildred today, and don't forget, when you see those missing and murdered posts on social media, to hit like and share, because every time we share a face, we do get closer to solving a case. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow for Day 2, Texas.